Ashleigh Godfrey and I'm 17 years old and I have cystic fibrosis. So I live with my mom and my dad and I am an only child. And it's my senior year.
I'm Carrie Godfrey. My daughter Ashleigh Godfrey at 17 has cystic fibrosis.
I was diagnosed at 6 months.
As you can imagine, it was quite the shock to find out. I didn't even really know what cystic fibrosis was. My husband and I, neither one knew. When they did tell us she had it, it was devastating.
It basically is a disease that creates excess mucus and it's thicker than, people without it. And so that blocks the airways. And over time, if you don't maintain it, it can progressively decrease your lung function, kind of start shutting down the airways. And the digestive system, the pancreas that normally releases the enzymes to break down food, that's blocked. So I have to take my own pills to kind of digest the food.
People with CF can end up having to have a lung transplant because they just can't fight it off anymore. They can't breathe.
I know a lot of people my age, they have lung percents at 20%, 15%, mine's at 113%. So, it's just really how you take on the disease. It's not something that really affects me other than when I'm maintaining it. As I wake up and I think, I can't just go get a shower and put my makeup on and leave. I have about an hour of treatments. And I have a morning inhaler which takes about 15 minutes. And then I have something called the vest, which you basically wear this vest and 2 hoses are connected to it. And then there's a machine and it basically has different levels that it will put air through the vest and shake your lungs. And basically what that does is it shakes your chest, which kind of, moves the secretions up and out, which normally you wouldn't be able to do by yourself. So I do that for about 30 minutes in the morning, and then I take, all the pills necessary, and then any pills before meals, which is normally 5 before a meal. And then at night, I do another 30 minutes, unless I do exercise. If I do like 30 minutes of running or cardio, I can kind of replace that. And then I do another inhaler, which is different from the one in the morning at night. I like to go to the gym, which is probably my #1 hobby, and fortunately that benefits CF. Exercise is like the #1 thing over all the treatments that help maintain it.
When she was younger, the biggest issue we had with CF was eating because it makes them not feel very good and their digestion doesn't work correctly, and so they need more calories and they're not always very hungry, and she battled that, and so it was always eat, Ashleigh, please eat. And I think in the back of my mind I always worried, is she going to end up having to have a feeding tube?
Freshman year I weighed about 93 pounds and I was about the height I am now, which is 5'4". And right now I weigh about 115 pounds. So that's a 25-pound weight difference. I was very skinny and it was not healthy, at that point. The lowest point was having to go in the hospital because I've had to go in 3 times, which is actually really good for someone with CF. When I had a really persistent cough and it just would not go away. So I went in and I got antibiotics just to get rid of that cough. People in the 1970s were living till 8 years old, and they weren't even living till elementary school sometimes. And so the progress that they're making is astronomical compared to what it used to be. And so they recently came out with a drug called Orkambi, which basically, corrects the underlying defect of CF. And it really changes cystic fibrosis. My lung function went up so much at my last appointment because of this drug.
I remember when we went to her very first CF appointment, the doctor said, if you're ever going to have CF, now's the time to have it. He said the research is being done, and the amount of people that are really interested in funding research is really going great right now. And
the future looks really promising, and especially with them being so close to a cure.
I'm so excited about the climb. I really am. When Kira first introduced it at one of our meetings, I thought, what a cool idea, to take advantage of the stadium. And, obviously exercise is super important to cystic fibrosis, and it's clearly a very, exercise-oriented event. So I think it's perfect. It's a perfect match.
I am very excited because, like I said, I love to do anything active, and I love doing stadiums, even though they are exhausting. I always feel very fit after it. And then to do that at the same time while raising awareness and money for CF is just 2 in 1.
Really proud of her, and I mean, just, you know, having cystic fibrosis alone is a mountain to climb, and then when you add in all the normal stuff that everybody else deals with on a daily basis, it's quite the, you know, the undertaking, and she's doing a good job. I have to give her credit.
It's who I am, and it doesn't make me weird. I mean, it's a disease, and it affects my health, not who I am as a person.